What does branding include? So, yeah, that's an old age question, right? I'll tell you, there's a few things that you'll probably be really familiar with what it actually includes, but there's also going to be a few things that you're not going to be familiar with. Now, the purpose of me doing this video is to make sure that you get to grips with what it actually includes and should include, because there's a lot of people out here claiming to do branding, or claiming to have a brand and not actually having addressed these key and crucial points that I'm about to share with you. I don't know why. Because maybe they haven't had the right guidance, or maybe because they haven't had a specialist like myself literally helping them along the way. And it's key and crucial, folks, to be able to make sure that you do have these key points in place to make sure that you have a brand that works for you. Because otherwise, what's the point on putting in the time, putting in the effort, putting in the investment towards it if you're not going to even make sure that it is doing what it needs to? So this video will help you to understand what you need to be putting in place, number one, but equally also it will help you to understand what branding includes, why it's included, and why it's super important to have all these assets in the first place. That being said, folks, please make sure you go ahead and subscribe to my channel. As always, I've got a hell of a lot to share with you, and I want to make sure as many people as possible get to grips and get to understand what branding is about. Because folks, my clients that I've helped both in the past and even today, they're, before coming to work with me, are still confused about what branding is about. And they have been misled in some areas, and I want to make sure that nobody else gets misled. So off the back of my channel, just doing my part right here, I want to make sure as many people get to grips with what branding is about. And I want to make sure that many people as possible equally get to understand how specifically it can help them. Because I'm sure you'll agree that not everybody is the same. Not everybody has a cookie cutter, straightforward kind of a business. No. Everybody is different. Everybody has a unique approach to what it is that they do. As much as no idea is different, everybody has their own unique way of showing it or proving it or even delivering it to their specific clients. And I want to make sure that they get to grips with the idea as to how they can go about doing that. But even more importantly, I want to make sure that they know that they are more than what they see. Because when they get to grips with that, that's how they then start elevating within what it is they do and equally why it is that they do it. So there we go, folks. Please make sure you go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Also make sure that you hit that little ring bell as well so you get alerted as to when I upload a new video, and stick around to the very end because I want to make sure that you get to grips with how you can start taking action today. So that being said, let's get into this. So as I said, we're going to be talking about what does branding include. Now, typically you're going to know, or maybe you won't know, that there should be a logo somewhere in the mix. There should be websites, there should be stationery, there should be posters, roller banners, galore flyers, all that kind of good stuff. Now, please understand, whilst they are not your brand, and please be very, very clear that and know that they are not your brand, they are most definitely assets to your brand and great assets to have. Because at the end of the day, folks, I'm sure you'll agree, you cannot be everywhere at the same time. So in the spaces where you don't personally get to show up, you need key specific devices to be able to show up for you. And that means they need to be able to talk your message. They need to be able to showcase what it is that you do specifically. And they need to be able to communicate with your audience, the right audience, in a way that actually makes sense to your brand. So they need to be able to continue that brand journey. That brand journey will be able to help encourage your clients, your customers, your prospects to know, like, and trust you, as I'm sure you've heard that phrase before, but equally it will help them to understand you even more importantly. That's the basics as to what your brand should include. Now, here's a few other things. And a lot of business owners, a lot of service-based entrepreneurs, or those who have product-based businesses, they're going to be missing this out. Simply because when you're getting started in business, you know the basics, the key basics as to what you need to be ticking off your business list. But you don't ever get told as to the ground or the foundation that you actually need to be building your business off of in order for it to have that longevity that you really, really want and desire for the outcome of your business. And what I'm referring to is the idea of your VPV, otherwise known as the brand power of 3, which is what I love calling it. I've coined it as that, simply because it is super powerful to have. And simply because with your brand power of 3, your VPV, and I'll go into them a little bit more in a minute, with that, you're going to be standing all the more stronger. You're going to have that longevity that you're looking for. And more importantly, you're going to understand how the growth of your business can actually happen based on the idea of you understanding what your VPV is in the first place. So now let me go into exactly what that is. Your VPV, your vision, your values, and your sorry, we'll do it in the order of the letters. It's your vision, your purpose, and your values. Okay? Your vision, your purpose, and your values. When you understand your vision, you'll understand where you're heading, essentially. When you understand your purpose, you understand the reason why you're doing what you're doing, like the real reason why. I'm not talking about the surface level stuff. Oh, because I want to make $10 million or pounds or whatever your currency is in 30 days. No, no, and no. Get to the deep stuff, folks. Get to it, simply because it's going to be what's going to help to boost your growth. Then, your values. Now, it doesn't matter which these orders go in, but I will say to you, your values actually do need to come first. And here's the reason why. When you understand the outcome as to what it is that you're doing, when you understand how you can actually really, really help people, your values become all the more clearer to you. Start thinking about what is the outcome that you want for your business. Because when you start thinking about what that outcome is, your values really just start like... they start shining like beacons in the night, right? And excuse that analogy, but it's true. They start shining really, really brightly, and they start standing out to you even more so. Your values can include anything from the idea of love. It can include the idea of going even deeper into that. Is it being love versus receiving love? Because yes, there is a difference. And equally, there's also giving love. And yes, there is a difference. Your values could mean something like freedom of time. Your values could mean something like peace or peace of mind. Your values could also mean something like even having a phrase or a sentence like helping others. It could be working together. It could be collaborating as one. What are your values that resonate with you, but equally resonate with the outcome that you want others to have? Because when you get to grips with those, the answers for your purpose, the answers for your vision become even more clearer. You might have an initial idea of as to what they are, and that's absolutely cool. But now use your values to help reinforce those ideas. Use your values to help reinforce what it is that you've just established for yourself. Because when you do that, once again, you'll understand the magnitude as to what your logo should actually really be looking like, what your colors should also be looking like. And I will just throw this in here as well, folks. When you are picking your colors for your brand, and I do have a few videos out about picking your color, the right color for your brand. Always understand that when you lead with your values, you'll know what the colors should be. Don't look to the meanings of the colors first. Do that after. Look to your values first to be able to establish what your colors should be, and then check out the meanings after that. Even if you see that the meanings are what they are, please use your values to establish or understand for yourself whether or not that color is the right color to use in the first place. Simply because if I shied away from the meaning of what my yellow color could actually be, because there's two meanings for it, I probably wouldn't have used it. But because I understand what my values are, it's actually my primary color. So really hold that to your own mind's eye as well. And that being said, folks, I'm going to leave it there. Before you go, I want to make sure that you're doing this, because remember I said at the beginning of this video, there's a way that I want to make sure you take action today. So in order to help you to establish what that VPV is, I want to throw in this extra thing for you. And it's not just a thing, it's an impactful way to be able to help you to elevate your brand even further. And what I mean by elevating your brand, I'm talking about building the awareness of your brand, especially when it comes to your business. And what that includes is the idea of growth for your business. What that even further includes is the understanding as to how you can actually start making better connections with your clientele, with your audience that you actually want to be making strides with. But equally also understanding that with a growth mindset, you get to understand who you're collaborating with, who you're connecting with in the first place, and equally who you're wanting to build your business with or even work with within your team. Use these key principles that you basically access by way of clicking on the link that's underneath this video. Enter your details and I'll fire over to you some key principles that will help you to establish exactly what to do, how to do it, and equally more importantly, we can do thereafter to be able to maintain that idea and that flow even further. These are key strategies, folks, and I want to make sure as many people as possible get to grips with them. So go ahead and click on the link that's in the description box below. Once again, like and subscribe to this channel. Please share it out to all others who you think could really benefit from a channel like this, but even more specifically a video like this as well. And folks, I will see you on the other side.